Hi everyone. We all know that healthy heart is the key to healthy life. So to keep the heart healthy, what do we need to do? What do we need to eat? What do we need to do in terms of physical activity? And what are the other factors that impact our heart health? This is Dr. Lahari. I'm a nutritionist and a wellness consultant. In this video, we are going to learn about all the things that we need to do to keep our heart healthy for a very, very long time. Coming to the diet part, what do we need to eat? When do we need to eat? How much do we need to eat? All these things play a role in keeping a heart healthy. So what do we need to eat? We definitely need to increase the fruit and vegetable intake, and in a way that it has to make at least 50% of the food that we consume. So in a day, we need to take each and every meal, if we can't eat fruits or vegetables in every single one of the meals, we have to ensure that whatever we eat throughout the day, at least 50% of it should come from fruits and vegetables. For example, in breakfast, one can include say steamed vegetables or a fresh salad if you are somebody who enjoys a fresh salad with your breakfast, or some steamed vegetables or roasted vegetables in your breakfast. Or you can end your breakfast with a good fresh fruit. This can make part of your breakfast from fruits and vegetables. And then in case of lunch, or let's talk about morning snack, right? You can even take your fresh salad here, like carrot sticks or some celery or some simple salad at this point of time as a morning snack along with some protein choice. In the lunch, you can include a vegetable salad, and traditional Indian meals anyway include these veg curries. So you can include the vegetable curry, which can take care of your first half of the day where your fruit and vegetable are coming from. Then in the evening snack, you can either include another fruit, or post lunch also you can have a fruit depending on how heavy and what is the composition of your lunch. And again in dinner, you can have little more of vegetables. So this way you can literally include vegetable or fruit in every single one of your meals. This is about what to include, and in that, fruits and vegetables. Another important food that we all must include for a heart healthy diet is whole grain products. It can be wheat, it can be sort of unpolished or less polished rice, and different other grains like barley, oats, different kinds of millets, especially unpolished millets. These are all whole grains or whole grain products. Even if you are somebody who likes to eat breads or roti, you can even include millet-based breads, millet-based pastas, or whole wheat breads, multigrain rotis, multigrain atta, foods made out of multigrain atta, such and such. So make sure most of your grains are whole grain, or most of the food that you are eating that is grain-based should be coming from whole grains only. The next thing is including right kind of proteins. So including lean protein as well as low fat protein is very important for heart health, because if you are somebody who eats a lot of animal based protein, chances are that that animal based protein will also come with some saturated fat. And if the content of saturated fat is high, the risk of heart disease also increases. In order to reduce this risk, you can include lean proteins. If you are taking animal-based proteins, stick to more of white meats like chicken and fish. You can even include eggs. Although eggs do have, especially the yolk part of eggs, do have some dietary cholesterol in it, research shows that it doesn't have direct impact on heart disease. In fact, even the vitamins and antioxidants present in egg yolk are definitely beneficial and also might help preventing certain heart-related health ailments. So you can happily include eggs, at the most say 3 or 4 in a week. Other than that, the other protein sources should be plant-based. What are the plant-based protein sources? If you're talking about processed protein, we can talk about tofu or soya chunks or meal maker. Those are plant-based processed protein. And these days there are other soya-based plant-based proteins that are available like tempeh. So you could give that also a try. Apart from that, your regular boiled lentils and beans could also be an excellent source of proteins in case you don't consume any animal-based protein at all. In some cases, people do take mostly plant-based protein, but also dairy products. So dairy products also can contribute good amount of protein to the diet. Especially you can choose reduced fat or low fat dairy products, whether it is curd or yogurt, especially unflavored yogurt, or milk and cheese, paneer as well can be considered good sources of protein that can help our heart health. Next thing is kind of fats that we take. In fact, the content of fat should be regulated, but whatever you get, the fats from the diet should come from healthy sources only. So what are the healthy sources of fat? Well, most of the fat that we get comes from the cooking oil that we use to cook our food. So we have to be careful about the kind of oil that we use. Make sure you are using, if you are somebody who likes to use processed oil for whatever convenience factor, make sure the oil is fortified with vitamin A, vitamin E and vitamin D in some cases. And certain brands in fact are also making sure that the oil has its original antioxidant properties, like some rice bran oil containing oryzanol. And you can also use other vegetable oils like rice bran oil and sunflower oil or canola oil, olive oil blends. These are all different kinds of oils that are available, peanut oil, sesame oil. So depending on what's more suitable for your way of eating, you can include those. However, make sure you're not taking more than 15 to 20 grams of cooking oil in your diet per day per person. So as long as you make sure of this, it is okay to kind of switch between oils rather than sticking to just one kind of oil. Other fats in your diet should actually come from not oils but different kinds of nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are not only good sources of heart healthy unsaturated fatty acids, they are also very rich in different kinds of vitamins and minerals with special antioxidant properties that can also keep our blood pressure under control. Keeping our blood pressure under control directly translates to keeping our heart healthy. So these are the major nutrients that we need to have in our diet to keep our heart healthy. So how much of these should we eat? Like I said, 50% should come from our fruits and vegetables. So even within that, make sure to manage your weight properly. Don't excessively consume fruits also. Limit fruit intake to about 150 to 200 grams per day. It depends on what your target is in terms of like what's your height, what's your weight, what's your health condition, all these things come into picture when you're thinking of how much of fruit can you safely consume per day. Other portion sizes, again, depending on what is your required calorie intake, what percentage of it can come from fats, can come from carbohydrate sources, can come from proteins, and all that determines how much of each of these foods should you eat. The next factor is what are the foods or the kind of foods that you should avoid or limit. This is very important because a lot of processed food, any kind of processed food that we buy, whether it is canned food or whether it is, street food, most of the times they're all high in salt content, or even if there is not a lot of salt, the processed foods contain sodium in other formats because sodium is one of the parts of different preservatives used in processed foods as well. So invariably one will end up increasing their sodium intake if they are eating a lot of outside food or processed food. And the processed food includes seemingly healthy different kinds of biscuits and health foods that are available in the market also. So be very careful about how much of those processed foods you include in your diet. It is my advice that avoid processed food on a regular basis. It's not that you need to completely ditch it and never have it at all, but make sure you are acknowledging the quantity of it that you are taking and the frequency at which you are taking these foods. Say you can limit it to special occasions once or twice in a month, or at the most, depending on the convenience factor also, at the most not more than once a week in a very sparing quantity. This can prevent the excess sodium intake and can also prevent fluctuations in your blood pressure or sudden increase in your blood pressure, thereby keeping your heart healthy. Next thing is eating your food in a good environment. This is very important because eating your food in a stressful environment can have a different impact on your body. So make sure you are eating your meals in a low stress environment. because when we are eating in a high stressed environment, we tend to convert most of it into fat, and it forms a layer around the belly, creating the whole visceral fat. Visceral fat is directly correlated with incidence of coronary heart disease or different kinds of heart diseases, as well as increase in incidences of diabetes. So make sure you are in a low stress environment, especially when you are consuming your food. And timings of food is also important, because when you are eating in odd timings and irregular timings, not only are you confusing your body in terms of when it is getting food and when it is not, you are also causing damage to your gut health. And gut health again is directly your health of health of your gut is directly correlated with health of your heart. So if you want to keep your heart healthy, keep your gut healthy, and for that, timely meals is very important. After all these things, regular exercise plays a huge role in keeping your heart healthy, including 30 to 45 minutes of aerobic exercise every day. Aerobic exercise, as in exercise that increases your heartbeat slightly, is something that is needed every day to keep your heart healthy. Additionally, sleep is also very important to prevent certain kind of heart diseases and especially sudden heart attacks. So make sure you are getting a minimum of 6.5 hours of sleep every night, if not 8 hours. So just to summarize, what we need to pay attention to have a healthy heart is the right kind of foods to eat, right portions of foods, right timings, right scenario, as in right situation, and right kind of activity on a daily basis, as well as good amount of sleep every night. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and share this video with more number of people who might benefit from this information. Also, for more health related and diet related content, subscribe to Nutrifulyou. Thank you.